Hola.
Hey everyone,
Hi.
welcome to
TFF. TFT. Told you.
TFT Tarot for Today with
Divine Dabblings with Oberon.
and Banshee.
Right
Oh
back
wow,
at you.
what a day. Totally Mercury retrograde already.
We're ODing on chocolate candy.
Hey Ellis, hey Khalil, welcome.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Hi, JSS. Thank you for waiting.
We're off to our silly start. I was just Oberon, pulling up a affirmator for myself here.
Oh, really?
But you know, when I did that, I dropped a card first.
Hi, Silent Warrior.
Hello, Silent Warrior. Welcome. E.T., welcome. Oh my goodness. Am I writing anything down? No, I'm not.
Oh, my. Hurry.
So we had LS, Khalil.
While we're doing that, we're going to show you the Sunman in all his glory.
Yes,
Our personal
Mr.
mascot.
he's
Always
back.
here.
And I have to tell you guys,
Hi,
Silent
Hi,
Warrior.
Esoterics.
And then E.T. and Alex. Hey, Alex. What happened was we had the table all clear. Sonny was not here, and all I had to do was start shuffling my cards, and he leaps up here. Of course, he knows it's his time and his fame. Well, anyway, just briefly, I wanted to talk about my affirmator cards, which I just pulled one for myself. They're cute little affirmations, and connection was the first one that fell out of my hands, basically. And it's interesting, I pull it right before the live stream because it says, I'm connected to the multitudes and I can access their support at any time. Even a stranger offers a sense of comfort when they smile at me or make a dumb comment about the weather. Everyone is waiting to connect. All I need to do is open myself up and pay attention. Note to self, work on witty banter about weather-related stuff. Okay, I guess I gotta try to do that. And then this last one was follow your heart, which means I'm always rewarded when I follow my heart. I trust that the GPS in my heart knows all the best routes. And when it seems like it's taking too long to get where I want, I know that because there's some cool, weird stuff to see along the way, it's all good. So that's the affirmator cards. They're a lot of fun. I recommend them. They are pretty readily available out there. There's a number of different packs of them now.
So tell us what we're doing today,
And I
Bansh.
see Mimi is back as well with a question.
Hi,
Mimi,
Mimi.
we've got
Hi,
a bit of a
Silent Warrior.
list. So what's going on today, Mr. O? Well, I think that we wanted to do something first, didn't we?
That thing?
Yeah, that thing. What is it called? Just say it.
Is it Tarot Together?
It's Tarot Together. And here is what we want you to do for us today. We want to demonstrate something to our audience, the audience that we're building here, that we'd like to do more of in the future. But today we're going to do an experiment. I think we'll just do it with one of us so we can move on to readings quickly.
Should we briefly detail?
Yes.
Do you want me to?
Yes.
Okay, well, we had done this a couple sessions back, and
Hey,
then
Jay.
we had done it again. And hi there, Jay. And what it is we shuffle the cards. First we figure out who's getting the reading. So it had been persons in our audience. But nonetheless, we shuffle the cards, and then we ask somebody else there, how many times should we cut the deck? And we let somebody else decide that. And then we say to somebody else, what card should we draw? And sometimes it might be the person who actually we're drawing for, but it hasn't always been that. But we try to mix up some of those procedural things about the cards to involve the audience.
To engage the audience.
To engage.
And also, just to prove the point that, we're all psychic. We're all in this together. We're here listening to other people's readings, waiting for our own. And it's possible through the energy that we're projecting here, to give somebody a good reading. So today, we'd like you to do this with reading for one of us. And do you have a question?
I could have a question.
Okay, so why don't we read for Oberon today? And we'll look for volunteers or we'll ask you for some help in just a moment so we can do Oberon's 3-card reading. What's your
Alrighty.
question?
Oh, I have to ask the question aloud?
Yeah, well, yeah. You did not want to do that?
I can do that, of course.
Okay.
Will my next week at work be favorable?
Okay. Well, that's a valuable question. I wasn't going to do a yes no reading on this, but should we do well, unless you want to do the three card, the different yes no with the upright
Well,
and
you're
reverse
the one
cards?
who's actually going to pull and read the cards.
Okay,
though, right?
that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a yes no reading, but a different style of yes no reading. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to shuffle first, and then I'm going to let Oberon shuffle the cards, and then we're going to ask for some help from our audience here.
And somebody new has joined us, Shamila, and we will be getting to individual readings after this quick example of tarot together.
Yes. Oh, I didn't have that pop up on the screen at all. So what is the name?
Shamila,
Okay.
Sharmila.
Okay, Sharmila, I will put you on the list, but there is a list. There are so many faces here today. It's wonderful.
Thank you, everybody.
So we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but we did want to demonstrate this because we've had such fun with this already a little bit on our live streams, and we're trying to tweak the process.
Okay, are you going to ask somebody who
Okay.
for a volunteer?
I'm going to ask if somebody is interested in volunteering. Hey, LS, would you be willing to tell Oberon how many times he should cut the cards in from I'm going to say 1 to 4 piles because maybe you want us to start at the top. So what about it, LS? We'll wait just a minute while she replies. 2.
2.
So cut them into 2 piles.
Thank you.
I'll pick them up. And now I am going to pull 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, lucky 13. 13 cards. And I'm going to ask, hey, Khalil, are you with us? Could you tell me which card to pull first for Oberon between 1 and 13? And I'll wait just a minute to see if Khalil is with us. 11th, okay.
I almost feel like we should have some creepy organ music or something here.
All right, I've got the 11th card, and I flip it over, and it is the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Show the card, but I'm not going to read it yet because we're doing a yes-no. Put that one down here. Okay, I am going to ask Jay Walker, are you with us? Would you like to tell me what card between numbers 1 and 12 to pull for Oberon's second card? Okay, which one? Number 9. Okay, we've got the card, and this one is, oh boy, we're in our reversal phase again. It is the 2 of Wands reversed. And the last card, let's see, I am going to ask Esoterics, if you're with us, can you tell me what card to pull between now 1 and 11? And I'll give Esoterics a minute. This is really crazy and it's a little time consuming, so we're not going to do this all the time, but maybe we'll do a special live broadcast sometime for interested people to volunteer and get readings this way. And we'll have some fun doing just the readings this way. Number 7.
I feel like this is my life.
Decided, oh my gosh.
That was an old TV
This
show
is an
back
awesome
from the
one.
1950s in America. Oh!
It's the 9 of Cups upright.
Well, of course, I only really want that card.
Okay, so Yeah, because in this particular yes/no reading, we're looking for upright or reversed cards, or at least I am. This is another way I do yes/no readings. And so he's got two reversals, which means that things are leaning towards no. And then he's got the Nine of Cups upright, which is very interesting to me because the first card is the Knight of Pentacles. Seems to be, Mr. O, something with money or finances or business is going to be, finance, I think, is going to be affecting you at work. Maybe you're going to get some financial news of some sort. I don't know if it's your time to redo your benefits. Like maybe there'll be some changes.
Okay.
I don't know.
We are coming up to the benefit season. I don't think we're quite there, but it's soon.
Yeah, mine just passed. And then he's got the Two of Wands reversed, which to me means that maybe it seems as though things are not looking good as far as your wish goes. It seems as though you're still waiting for something to happen or develop, and it's not happening for you. But the Nine of Cups indicates that even despite all of that, this isn't going to be a overall bad week for you. I do think there might be a setback with finances and maybe something that you were expecting to happen. But other than that, it might end up being one of those weeks where you might say to yourself, well, at least things weren't any worse.
No more need be said. Well, thank you very much, Banshee, and thank
the community.
You to the audience.
So what do you guys think of that?
We probably won't...
read what Esoterics has to say for you. Oh, okay. Excellent, Esoterics. Thank you for that.
That's very encouraging.
Yeah.
I need to hear that. Thank you.
So anyway, we will not, like I said, this will probably be something we do special occasions, or if maybe we're tacking on some time to our live stream, because it does take a little bit of time. Mm-hmm. But what we really like about this is we actually get to, invoke the energy of the audience into the reading. And I think, things are very interesting when we do that.
And in the future, when we do this, as we mentioned, we might do this as a special segment of some sort,
mm-hmm.
Or something like that. It will be called Tarot Together, Visioning Takes a Village.
Because it does take, we like to think with this reading, it takes a village.
And being the former poet, English major type, I really like alliteration.
Yes, he does. But, of course, so do I. I couldn't even resist some in our Halloween haiku that we did. And speaking of which, while I'm getting it together here with the cards, do you want to talk about the Halloween haiku video?
Yes.
If
quick? You happen to run across the Halloween haiku that we posted on our Facebook and Twitter page for the entire month of Halloween of October, sometimes a couple of days, we also did a dramatic recitation, which we filmed and then edited a little bit, and we put that on YouTube. So if you're looking through our YouTube channel, it's there as Halloween haiku dramatic reading, or it might be a recitation. So check that out, because it was fun doing that. And maybe
too much fun for us, maybe.
Yeah, we're old after all. What do we know, right?
Our humor might be dated at times. We tried to freshen it up a bit, I thought, with some of them. But it was great fun doing it, and good exercise too. It's like what I do with my tarot haiku, which, by the way, will be coming back to Facebook and Twitter a couple times a week. So we will be
okay,
doing
so we're moving
again.
on to our first person.
Our first person was LS in the room. So LS, did you have a question for us today?
And thank you, Esoterics Tarot, and everybody for being here and for saying nice things.
Well, by the way, this is starting our 4th month now.
Yeah, right? We're actually starting our 4th month. So
and we want to thank everybody for coming and making this an even better success as time is going on. We greatly appreciate you.
Did we miss JSS?
I have. JSS was.
Actually first,
he said he couldn't stay.
Oh, that's right. So JSS may not be with us. Okay. We can put you on the list, Jay Bain. There are a few people in front of you, but we're going to work through our list.
So you are JB, and then we have JW, who's in front of you. So we will do that.
Thank you for being with us.
Yes, thanks for joining us today.
Okay, Alice. hopefully you're still there.
LS,
and
we'll
can,
give you one more shot if you have a question for a reading. Otherwise, we'll move on.
Or are
and
you just here to watch?
Or try to fit you back in. I dropped some cards. They look like good ones. The Fool. Four of Pence. Oh, except for that Tower. Anyway, what deck are you using today, Oberon?
It's a quasi variation on the weight deck.
Okay.
That one.
Okay.
Do you want me to use it?
Sure. I am using also my Pagan Cats Tarot again, and I will also be using the Tarot Grand Lux by Ciro Marchetti, which is just an absolutely beautiful deck, as you will see.
Do I want to remove the camera view so you can pick up cards or whatever?
Did I drop
is?
more?
Oh, I thought you said you
I
did.
picked them up already. Whew.
Okay,
Scare me now.
Alice
may be
have
out for
checked
the moment,
or
so
is
we
it
might fit her
interested?
back
So who's
into
next?
the spread.
Yeah, we can always try to do that.
Khalil, you're next if you want a reading.
And Khalil, I want to share something with you, which is this is actually one of my oldest decks. I've had this deck close to 50 years, over 45 for sure. It's a variation on the Rider-Waite, only with very 60s or post-60s day glow kind of colors. There's the Hermit. They're slightly stripped down in terms of some of the background scenes, but it is mainly a variation. You definitely may have a general reading.
Let's do present, near future, future. We'll give it to you very general, Khalil. So present is right now. Near future would be probably within the next couple months, and future maybe the season. You know,
I'm going real gentle with those.
Okay, I will try.
As I mentioned, they are a pretty old deck. I don't do that anymore, hardly ever.
I am a ruffler of cards, so I'll try to be careful. And Sunny is actually giving me, maybe I shouldn't say anything, room to shuffle today. What a shock. All right. And I will be using the Lenormand cards as well, and they are Ciro Marchetti's. Next
I think
time
that
I'll
the deck
mix it
takes
up.
its inspiration slightly from the 60s and post-60s pop art artist Peter Max. Was it Peter Max
Oh,
or Maxwell?
maybe. Peter Max was his name.
Right.
Yeah, if that's who you're
And
talking
he
about.
actually died somewhere in the last year. He was very famous pop artist, originated the term pop art, I think, or pop op. Okay, you cut and I put back together. So the first card is
the present.
Okay. Well, the first card for Khalil is the Queen of Wands, and so what I see is a huge moment of attractiveness, magnetic power. It's kind of bursting with an energy that isn't so much oppressively, weighted towards, being in charge so much as it is weighted towards influence, that this is a person who can command influence. So I mostly think this is you, or this is the environment that you operate in, or how you environment in your what?
Somebody loves the old font.
Oh, okay. Did you want to say something about the Queen?
No, she loves the font.
Thank you, Sharmila. Did you want to say something?
Oh, about the Queen in the present?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do feel that there's a bursting of creative energy right now for you, and
it is about creativity.
It is very much about creativity, I think. And, it could be in anything that you do, that you just immerse yourself with that creative mindset, that spontaneous mindset, where something could grow just out of a mere idea.
My only regret about this card is that in the some of the, like I mentioned, it is nearly a decent representation of Arthur Waite, Pamela Coleman Smith's original drawings concept, but some of the background detail is lost in certain cards, and what's lost on this card is in the original Rider-Waite, there's a little black cat sitting near the feet of the Queen, and sometimes when you look at the old meanings for the card, it says that there's an aspect of the card that represents the sinister aspect of love. And even if I don't really know what that means, I just kind of love that in a way. But I miss my little black cat, so I'm going to just say that.
All right, let's move forward. So this is the near future, which is like the next 2 months.
Well, this may be a handy card. The near future shows possible involvement in relationship stuff.
I couldn't see what it is.
It's the lovers.
Oh, should be
Including and
looking
up
here.
to, maybe besides being the beginning of possibility of a relationship, that there may be some serious questions about how to pursue that, like whether or not this does amount to a serious choice or just, something that is not so serious, but just take it as it goes, as it unfolds.
It does have those romantic undertones, absolutely, but this could be also, in my mind, a choice of, something that you're passionate about in your life. It could be, a career or art you're passionate about, something that you're doing, and choices that have to be made. It could even be, relating to jobs or moves or things of that nature, things that are going to bring out passion in you. Where do you really want to put yourself? Where do you feel yourself, the most passionate at this time? And what should you go with?
And Ellis has mentioned that they're back.
Okay, LS, I'll have to fit you in, but we've moved on to Khalil at the moment. Sorry about that.
Okay, so the final card for Khalil is what position?
Okay, Khalil. And the final card is, I would say, till the end of the season, the winter season. So that would
Do
go
you want to
into
go first on this one, the Four of Wands?
Four of Wands is fantastic. There seems to be, like, by the end of this the winter, things will be really settled for you and in a very positive, growthful way. It sometimes is indicative of a celebration, like a marriage or something very happy. But it's definitely, where there's, the four gives you that sense of stability, those four rods standing there. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. And what do you see?
Right. I see that at the end of this winter affair, or at least this time period, that basically uh, some things are really kind of cemented in a way in terms of the future direction, or at least you have an idea clearly of how you want to build, because this is still a card of growth. It's the card of beginnings in a way. While it could indicate a celebration over some sort of partnership, a marriage, a relationship, it could just mean a celebration over something that's growthful as well, I suppose. It oftentimes seems external, like maybe this isn't saying you're that person that's celebrating a relationship, but it doesn't mean that you're not. So it could also mean that maybe, a relationship of potential or growth happens for you as well, something you feel like celebrating about.
Okay, and I did something I don't normally do. There are two forms of Cyril Marchetti's Lenormand decks. He did a regular standard Lenormand, and then he did an expanded version where he actually added on a number of cards. Now, normally I read from the regular standard deck, but I grabbed the other deck today. It's very interesting, Khalil, because I pulled one of the extra cards, that he made for this deck for you, and I'm going to have Oberon show them. One is the birds, which is part of the regular Lenormand, and the other one is a compass. And the compass to me is indicative of somebody in search of direction right now, landing somewhere, moving somewhere, moving to a certain direction. And the birds is news and communicating. Either you're communicating that intent or there is going to be news coming to you about this particular, a possible move or direction that you should be going in.
And as I often mention, probably people are sick of hearing me say that, I don't know how to do the Lenormand, but the
I'm
images
sick of hearing
mostly
you say
speak to
that.
me. And so they may not speak exactly like the meaning of the cards, but I just spurt it out. And so to me, the search or where you're orienteering towards is a sense of beauty too, because that's what I think of this card, the birds, is that it's the sense of beauty, or it's the sense of being able to have the time to relax in nature and enjoy its beauty, that kind of thing.
Hey, Junior Goddess, welcome back.
Hi, Junior Goddess. Thanks to join us
I've added
again.
you to the list that's growing. But anyway, Khalil, that's what we have for you this time, and I hope you really enjoyed that and it made a lot of sense to you.
That's fun to read for you, and we really appreciate knowing you. So it's really great, Khalil. Thank you so much.
And we'll be reading apparently with the expanded Lenormand for today. They came to me for a reason, I guess, so I will be using them. And the extra cards he put in there are quite thoughtful. So it's just that when I'm reading for groups, I've been more comfortable using the normal traditional Lenormand right now. I'm still working with this deck on my own. All right, we're going to move on to the next person, which was Esoteric's Tarot, if she'd like a reading and is still with us.
And while we're waiting for that, I'm just going to mention that I do appreciate Junior Goddess showing up. Junior Goddess has been instrumental in helping us get aboard in certain ways, has loaned us some equipment or given us some equipment that we use, and then also has provided some amount of artistic direction. So we really appreciate that. Thank you for joining us.
I think it's, to be exact, Khalil, there was also a few he put in some extra... he put in, for some reason, an extra birds card that I interchange. He has a owl card that you can replace for the birds, and he gives a reason why that I'm not going to take the time to elucidate right now. And then, of course, he's got alternate man and woman cards, for the readings as well.
Hey, look, everybody, it's Brad Pitt. Ooh, that's pretty hot.
Pick your preference, or if you're reading,
Ooh, that's hot too.
if you're reading for somebody who's just interested in male or females in their readings, you can put 2 men and 2 women in. I think these are well thought out, so there's those extra cards. Plus,
he does look like Brad Pitt a little bit.
Yeah. Let me just, since I had the question answer real quick, we'll go right on to the next person. There are 44 total Lenormand. There's usually 36 cards. So he added on a number of cards to this deck, and some of them make a good sort of sense that do seem like they're great additions. Like, for example, he has one called The Mask, which I think is very cool. He's also got one called Bridges, which I think is very nice too. But enough on this, because we don't want people to miss out on readings, and I appreciate the question, absolutely. But I'm going to move on so we can move the list down a little bit and see if Esoterics has come back.
I'm not sure, so maybe we should go ahead and pick somebody else and just fit them in again later.
So, okay, we're going to go to Alex now, and then I'm going to see what we can do from there. Alex, are you with us?
Alex, Andrea, if you are there, please tell us if you'd like a simple reading. Ooh,
okay.
A good yes or no kind of
question. That
question.
definitely sounds like a good yes or no.
So we're going to use your deck for this
I'll use this one. I'm using my Ciro Marchetti Tarot Grand Lux. And thank you for the question. I'll be focusing on that now.
And then, of course, we'll throw a Lenormand real quick at it, too, and see if it gives us a little oomph or, I like to call it texture to the reading. TJ tell people I was his girlfriend? And we have our favorite mascot
One
here.
would think he's our only cat, but it is not true.
Well, I tried to show Sassy earlier. I kind of pivoted the camera around, and then she immediately got camera shy and hopped away. And I'm just going to cut him back.
Okay.
I didn't shuffle.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Do you want to go with
Your
that?
choice. No, that we can go with it. I like to think everything happens for a reason.
Rumors going around. Silent Warrior, you are on the list, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. We're getting there.
I'm polysensual, so I just like looking at beautiful looking things of whatever sort. So
this is very interesting. I'm almost there. Well, I don't know. I'm getting a possibility of no here.
It's more likely no, but it isn't
However,
positively no.
Alex, there's some interesting cards. You've got some very good cards here. The first card is, the other card is the Lovers.
Oh dear, that kind of throws a wrench in it.
It does. And this is the Three of Wands.
I am picking up an immediate flash that says it's not likely that he has totally told your friends or his friends, But what I am getting the idea is that he maybe has scheduled it in his mind, at least, that he's waiting for something to happen. The Three of Wands usually talks to the idea of being invested in a process or a situation, money making or otherwise, and it's just in your mind, at least, that it's a matter of time. The prognosis or the prospects look good. It looks like it's just a matter of time for some reason before he actually does want to indicate that more publicly or ask you specific questions pertaining to that. What do you think, Barb?
Well, she also wants to know what people think, and I will focus my Lenormand on that, Alex. But I think here, I'm concerned too. I just have a question for you. Is there somebody else in his radar as well, or in the picture that's also there? Because the Lovers sometimes, is indicative of choices. Oh, I'm sorry, E.T. We had to move past you a little bit here.
Talking to other girls. Okay. Well, I'm not picking up the definitive, or maybe I have to think of it more in terms of what those cards could mean. It is possible that maybe ultimately the Lover's card represents choices for some people, and that maybe he might still be thinking.
Well, that's why I'm wondering, but I would say you're definitely, on the radar map here with this three of wands. That's just what it seems like to me, but I don't think...
Just that for some reason he's not ready to be more public about it.
Well, I would... Oh, this is a tough one for me. All right, let's...
How were you thinking of that again?
I was thinking in terms of what other people are thinking about this, right? That was your question up there. Let me take a look at that again in the chat.
You want to know
what people think. There are rumors going around. Do they possibly think you are breaking him up from someone else or taking him away from someone else?
Is that what you get from that, or the
I'm
whip?
getting it with the whip there, which means some kind of aggressive act, and relating it to the question that you asked. The other thing that I could say, looking at this card, is it's possible you're going to find these two cards together on another level. Is that it's possible you're going to find out something soon, because the whip also indicates something happening fast.
Yeah. A sense of urgency.
So, and it's with a relationship. It could be positive, could be negative. It could be that you're hearing negative news about him and somebody else.
I'm wondering if it's possible that he's just not brave enough or is in a weird enough situation to where he can't feel good about getting rid of that other woman, that maybe he fears something, or that he just fears that. But that once he could do that, then he would be able to commit towards that. Yeah. And I don't know. But
okay.
I'm thinking like maybe this represents clearing away, that he wants to clear away some things.
I don't usually look at
around to that.
The rope as a passion card, but on the other hand, they may think that, this could be indicating something there, that they're looking at, aggression as, aggression maybe is being translated as passion here, and they are talking about that. This could be indicative of that. I think that's all we have for you at the moment, though. What it is saying to me is that he hasn't told everybody yet, but maybe people are taking this... they're deciding this for themselves. They don't need to hear it from him, and they're starting these rumors.
But see, that's what I think too, is that at least in his mind, he thinks he's waiting, he's planning to do it. He just hasn't really gotten around to doing it.
Yeah. So that's it for you today,
It's possible
Alex?
we might be able to come back later if there's nobody else, if we get through everybody. So we'll see if you hang around.
And I think we're on Me. We're going to go to Me right now. If you're still with us. Oh, can they take your place? Okay, E.T., I will tell you what. If Jay Walker can be a sport about it, we'll take that person next. You're welcome, Alex. Do tune in again,
welcome.
and we'll try to help you more. So, okay, so Mimi, are you with us? If you could let me know again what your question was. I think you...
okay, address Jay's concern, I guess.
Okay, you're here, Jay. Jay, is it possible we could you're after me, but could we let one other person get in before you, and then we'll make sure you go next? Because Esoterics was in front of us, but she's been having all kinds of computer problems.
Hi, Smiling Soul.
Thank you, Jay. You're a trooper. Thanks a lot.
And
hey, Smiling Soul.
We're still waiting on Mimi, but I have a feeling that Mimi. Oh, there you are. Okay, general reading, Mimi, or do you have a question we can answer?
I think Mimi had a question.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can find
the log
it.
And I didn't see it.
Well, I'm going way back for it.
No, it's right here in front.
Oh, is
what
it?
are AJ's intentions?
Oh, okay. Thanks, Mimi. All right.
This time let me shuffle too.
Oh, maybe. We are a team after all. Here you go.
Yes, thank you again, Jay.
Okay. Intentions.
And I'll go ahead and cut.
Yes.
It's maybe a little colder than normal, or aboutish cold as normal, Smiling Soul. What do you think? We had a couple of days of good rain a couple of days ago.
To me, it's rather cold. We've been spoiled the last few years with a lot of warm weather. So this is kind of a shock to my system, it happening early this year. But it's Michigan. And Michigan is absolutely like that. You know, blink your eyes and the weather changes literally at the drop of a hat. It could be raining just a few miles away from me, raining 2 or 3 miles away, raining buckets, and we get nothing here. I can't figure it out myself, but...
I tend to be a sweater wearing kind of person anyways, so I am wearing a sweater today. I usually bring one to work because even though we're kind of state-of-the-art new facility, we just seem to have heating, cooling problems with our building there. What you got, Banshee?
I was called to do it this way. I've thrown 3 cards. She wants to know specifically what AJ's intentions are, and so I thought we should pull 3 cards and see what we could put together there.
Okay.
As far as the intentions
let's
go.
study those for a moment.
So one is the 4 of coins, I believe, correct?
Yes. So like 4 of Pentacles.
Yes. And the other is the Queen of Swords.
Reversed?
Yes.
Okay.
And the other is the 4. Is it the 4 or the 6?
It's the 4 of Cups.
Of Cups.
So I love patterns and synergy that I can feel in readings or in spreads. And I sort of immediately feel that the 2 4s are balanced on the side of possibly yourself, or qualities of a person maybe, but I think it's you. And that's a person who maybe feels they have to be fair, but not necessarily have the appearance of being any kind of partialness to the decision. In other words, you would be looked at as being a stern judge of character. You may be ultimately quite fair in how you decide things or how you look at things and base any judgment on them. Having said that, I see the 4 of coins, which represents maybe it's a person or maybe it's a quality or a feeling.
I think it's qualities myself, but go ahead.
So I see where you're going with this. This is really AJ, right?
No, yeah, no,
Maybe.
Not exactly. This is supposed to be AJ's intentions towards Alex. So the way I'm looking at it, and I don't want to interrupt your flow, but the 4 of coins is basically somebody who plays to keep here, I feel. And it's going to be kind of a situation where I think he could harbor some very possessive qualities towards you or the person that he becomes involved with.
It is that kind of card. It's the card of a person who, I won't call them stingy several decades ago, we would refer to a person as stingy about their possessions. But this is a person that sort of is over blanketing in a way. They're overly concerned with acquisition or what they feel belongs to them. And that can be things that are physical as well as people or people's feelings or situations.
And I'm going to look at the Four of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles reversed together a little bit here and
Is the
say,
Queen of Swords.
I'm sorry, yes, sorry, Queen of Swords reversed today, because it seems to me that maybe this shows somebody who is contemplating, and I'm thinking that this is AJ, who's thinking about things right now and just wondering about you, and maybe right now he's deciding how he feels about you. Sometimes he's not sure how to take you. That maybe sometimes you come on a bit strong with things, and that could be a possibility. What do you think?
Well, that's a good call on that card. Yes, some of them have made some observations on our mascot kitty, Cleo, in particular, and now the kitty's getting ready to jump somewhere that I'm hoping he
Okay,
makes
let's
it
hold the
without
table.
any disruption.
Oh.
Don't come back. It goes a
Oh,
little easier
as
when
long
you're
as
not
he doesn't jump back, that's the main thing.
Yeah, that would be
If
the
he
worst
dive
thing.
bombs a table, I think
That would
all
be
is
the worst
lost.
But I think you're right. I think this represents a sense of contemplation or wanting to possibly consider options, but definitely consider choices that they feel that they could make in one particular option or another. So it may be that they haven't really decided, and maybe you suggested that maybe they were thrown off a little bit by the demeanor.
Well, I'm not exactly sure here, but yes, I think that is a possibility. That's not to say you have done anything wrong, because remember, this is just this person's perception. That's what I'm
True enough.
picking up. And perceptions, as we know, can be totally, people's behavior and actions can get misconstrued all the time. Hey, social media and the internet's good for that. You may say one thing and people will get all thrown off, and you didn't mean it the way it came off. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe right now they're in a phase of really thinking about it, but I'll tell you what, you might find this person to be very possessive with you. And, if you're the kind of person who may need space, and room for growth, I don't know. I'm picking up a vibe
So
here.
let's throw the Lenormand
I'm gonna throw the
and see
Lenormand.
what else they say for you.
I don't know if you know this person from school or work or some institution, but it seems like something revolving that might happen soon. We've got the whip again, and we also have an institution like school or a workplace, that maybe some building is involved here, or some foundation maybe to be built. I mean, if you want something to happen, it could happen suddenly out of the blue. This could also mean to me, if I'm looking at it in a relationship way, that people that something could be built here, some foundation.
Okay, so are you saying that you don't know him in that institutional thing that we're talking about? Is that what you think?
Yes.
I do feel like it could just be something corollary, that it's anything. I mean, it could just be their line of work, your line of work, some other situation. But yes, I just sort of feel the sense of immediacy there. I'm not getting clearly too much else there, not from school.
Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking that maybe what it's talking about is, maybe you don't have to worry about rushing things too much, because it sounds like something could happen. Something could build off of your relationship with this person, but it seems like it's going to happen suddenly, just like that.
And that's another thing Mimi says there, is that they want to learn from this person about online businesses, I guess, and stuff.
Well, that's very interesting, because in a sense they're, right, that's where the business connection is. That's this basically, the tower is about workplaces, structured organizations. If you're learning things even from the internet is like a virtual business place of sorts.
I was going to say that
on.
in the modern age, this card does not necessarily apply to bricks and mortar necessarily.
It's like libraries these days.
Right.
It's beyond the walls of the library.
So I guess because I get what you say about the whip being a sense of urgency or something that happens quick, that this could be something that will happen quicker than not. That it's very transitional in a way.
Well, he's hot, but I'll tell you what, he could be a handful. That's all I can say. But if you can learn some stuff from him, go for it. Absolutely. That sounds positive, but it sounds like, and you should probably do it soon.
We're so glad you're out of the hospital, and we're hoping you are feeling better, Smiling Soul.
Absolutely, Smiling
And
Soul.
yeah, thank you for noticing that. We just seem to like run into people immediately, and so we're just overjoyed that we're busy.
I know it's crazy today. Crazy good. We love it.
So who's next?
So who is next is Jay Walker. You are
That's
next.
right,
But
Jay
wait
Walker.
a minute, Jay. We were going to let Esoterics.
Esoterics.
Esoterics, you said you had somebody you wanted us to read for, correct? So we just need to know if there's a specific question or they want a general
Well,
reading.
good luck with that, Mimi. We'll have to ask again, or we'll talk to you again about
Keep
that.
us posted, definitely. You know, we love to hear results, hey, whether they work out or not. We've been doing something right now where we've been doing readings about Brexit on our videos.
So we're doing a reading for Dom through Esoterics, and Dom has had many major changes.
Okay.
Would like to know if there are any messages as to the direction they should focus their energy.
Okay.
Hi again, Sharmila. Did we pass them? Or
No, we did not, Sharmila. You're still on the list. After this reading is one other person and then you.
You're second in line.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to my quasi Arthur Waite deck, and we're asking for Dom. So how do you want to do this reading?
Okay, so let me just see again. He would like to know if there's any myth. I think let's do the 3 cards and see what the message is. It's sort of like the previous reading, I think. This will work. And then I'll do some Lenormand.
Not, you are on the list still, Jay Bain. Where are you at?
Jay Bain was a little bit further. Jay Bain is right after Sharmila.
Okay,
So third.
Right now the order looks like after we finish Dom, we're doing Jay Walker, then we're doing Sharmila, and then we're doing Jay Bain. So stick around or don't lose your place if you're gone longer and we call for you and you're not here. And Silent
We'll always
Warrior's
put
on
you
our
back
list too,
on
right?
the list. Smiling
Yeah, we can
Soul
always
is
put you
on the
back on the
list,
list.
but she'll be after LS who came back, so we'll be doing it that way. And Junior Goddess is after JB.
Gee, Banshee, maybe we're going to have another half hour or hour added to our show eventually.
We may. Success is
Thanks, Jay.
like that, you know. What is the reward of success?
Nothing.
More hard work.
More hard work. Okay, do you want to cut them this
I
time?
shall cut them. All right. Let's see what we have.
And as you can see, these cards are definitely nearly 50 years old. They have a little bit of some battle wounds there. So I'm just pulling 3 cards, right?
Yes.
One by one?
Yep.
So the first card is the Hermit.
Well, let's put them all down and take a look because we want to see what message about these changes.
And we're getting all uprights for a change. Oops, I spoke too soon.
Never do that.
But
okay.
not bad. We got 3 different cards. We got the Hermit. We have the 10 of Pentacles. And we have the 6 of Pentacles, but reverse.
It's interesting because we have this preponderance of pentacles along with the major arcana card, which to me is indicating that there is something heavy going on here. And it seems to be with the 10 of Pentacles, that's a card of family resources of some sort, or connections with family. So I don't know if these changes involve any of that. For Dom, is it Dom?
Right, I'm going back to their question.
Okay. And 6 of Pentacles
direction.
reversed indicates that, some resources have been withheld or there's some problems with some money here. And the Hermit is telling me that this is a period right now where, you're feeling kind of like you need to pull yourself back from maybe some drama that's going on in regards to this and really look within yourself for some answers here.
Silent Warrior is on the list, right?
Silent Warrior is Oh.
Where
Silent Warrior.
where should they
Shoot.
be? Before or after Ellis again?
I think we got to put Silent Warrior before Junior Goddess. So I'm
That's
sorry,
true.
Silent Warrior.
Yeah.
Something happened here, and I
We did forget
apologize
to
for
write you down. We
that.
apologize for that.
You
But
know,
we've
next
added you up
time
the
we do
list.
readings, we will move you to the front of the list if you come back for a live stream.
So
I
you're like
apologize.
4 down or so, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the reading for Dom. What I'm getting here is that where Dom maybe is inclined to focus, but doesn't necessarily need to focus, is that Dom seems to be a little bit reclusive in certain ways. Possibly would rather sit in the background and shine off what they know in a more subtle way, a knowledgeful way. But also, there's this aspect of most things seem to work out. There's a connectiveness with other situations that are solidarity or that are bringing support
Groups, even.
support groups. Um, Ultimately, though, what this means, though, is that from I don't know, I'm getting a little twist here.
Well, I'm getting two twists myself from what I said before because this also indicates, this isn't a time to be too giving of yourself to
Yeah.
others. This is time to hold back a little bit, I'm feeling, especially now when I'm thinking about this Hermit card. It seems as though Dom has to do some inner work or seek some, do some meditation and really try to focus on
Not
what
to be over generous, because it may be just that the financial ability to do that is not necessarily that strong there.
And when I'm also saying generous, this may also be of your time and energy right now as well.
Right.
Be wary of giving too much of yourself. In a time where maybe your world is in upheaval.
So
if
that
there's
doesn't
change.
really answer the direction. It sort of, in my opinion,
Well-
sort of says reclusive okay, relying on support okay, not giving of self right now or whatever okay. But where is that actual direction?
What is the
for
message of the changes? I think. Well, I think, Dom, I think the message here is that through adversity, there's some adversity, there is some loss. Sometimes this is of a financial loss of some sort too, but it could be other things. It could be health issues as well that, come on suddenly and the ability to get back up after that. I think the message is, how are you able to pull yourself back up on your feet again? And maybe it is a call to you to look within yourself and find that strength and find that light within yourself to move forward. Is
Well,
any of this well, go ahead.
There's a
What do you see?
correlation between what the mouse sort of feels like to me and that last card, the reverse Six of Pentacles. And the last card says, don't you can't afford necessarily to be over giving. And this card is saying that actually you need to think of yourself more. Mice are little hoarders, and sometimes
They're little thieves too,
sometimes
though.
they're inconvenient for people, but they really are kind of cutish in a way,
Aw.
and they don't mean harm. They're just sort of, when people study the lore about scientists and medical, mice have a lot of correlations to humans, which is why mice are used in certain testing. So we're kind of like little mice ourselves.
Speaking of mice, I'm eating a chocolate bar right now. But no, Dom, I would say that, when I read the Lenormand, the mice, it seems like when I've studied a number of books and sources on it, and the mice
Thank you, esoterics.
The mice is kind of troubles. They're little troubles, and sometimes they could be ill health, but oftentimes they mean that little bits of you are being taken away. Whether it's your resources, whether it's you're feeling like in a disadvantaged state right
But
now.
how do you put that?
With the whip, the whip is basically that these are sudden changes and things that happen. So, in other words, suddenly you're finding you're being drained somehow.
And you need to work on conserving for yourself.
Right. And that's what we have for you, Dom and Esoterics. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for that comment, Esoteric. We like to know we're on a
Hershey's is not my favorite chocolate, but dang, I think that'll help me get through into the next hour.
Yeah, because we got a lot going here.
We are
Samantha.
near the end of our first hour, but who's next?
Okay, so Jay. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Jay is still down the list a little bit for us, Samantha.
We're
Now, who's
getting
next?
there. Actually,
We're getting there.
we're with Jay Walker right now. Jay.
We're with Jay Walker.
And next will
You are
be
welcome, Esoterics. Thank you.
next will be Sharmila, and then after that will be
Jay Bain.
JB, and then we will get Silent
Warrior.
in Junior
Okay.
Goddess.
So Jay Walker has asked the question. I'm sorry, I'm not cutting you off.
No, that's quite all right. Between your mom and dad. Let me see if I have a reading for that, but I'm not sure that I do.
And we're going to use my deck again. The old deck.
Let me have a look here.
Maybe that 3 cards.
I have
again.
another relationship, but let me just see if
Okay.
it's got family.
You are ready.
Okay.
And thank you everybody for finding us, even with the Eastern Standard slopping back into daylight savings and being technically kind of an hour earlier.
Oh, is it
y'all found us, which was really
Is
cool.
it your deck we're using?
Yes,
Okay.
I've shuffled already.
All right.
But other than that, whatever, this is now regular EST time. We are on Thursdays 7 to 9 p.m. and also Sundays 2 to 4 p.m. You can also check us out on Facebook. Every night we post a card that we draw for the next day and our observations on that. And we also on Twitter are following some really cool people. So join us on Twitter and see what's going on there. And that's TFT.
Do you want me to pick it up?
Sure. And our Twitter address again?
TFT Tarot 4 number 4 today.
Alrighty.
All right. So this one for Jay Walker, I'm good. The first card is going to be, I had it here, your mother and father at present. And I have the 5 of Swords reversed.
Well, that sounds to me like nothing good. It's mostly that it's divisive, if nothing else. I don't think that it's super destructive. Like, I don't necessarily feel that somebody could physically hurt somebody, but I feel it's extreme testiness at times or inability to really work with each other.
Well, I don't know if I want to go that far, but
Thank you, Silent Warrior. We're sorry we couldn't get with you too, but we do appreciate your presence and we do hope to see you again.
Oh, I apologize for that, and we will. You know what? I will move you up on the list next time you join us.
We'll make a note so you will be at the top, right?
Indeed, I will. So that's what we will do.
Come again.
Come
Thank you.
again. And okay, so basically, I wouldn't go as quite as he's, but I do say there is a very big imbalance here, power-wise, in this relationship I sense between your mom and dad. I could be wrong about this, but I have this feeling. And I'm going to go to the next card, which is basically the challenges that they face.
Hugs for all.
Oh, well, okay, the 3 of Cups reversed, which to me is indicative of, again, a sort of imbalances here, whether maybe something to do with overspending or overeating or over...
What did she say the question was?
Jay's question?
Or the position.
The question, yeah.
The position.
The question is the challenges they face.
The position.
I said...
Oh, okay. Well, you said the question.
The challenges they face.
Okay, I think...
His mom and dad.
Well, he asked specifically about his mom, I thought.
I thought he said his mom and dad.
No, I don't think so.
What's going on with my mom and dad right now? Between my mom and dad.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hey,
I am so sorry.
It's not a problem.
Okay. Well, I don't know that I feel this for both of them, but maybe I do. I sort of feel like what this card says is that both of them question whether you are or will be happy.
Oh. I guess I'm confused
That's
about...
more emotional.
Can I ask a clarification for you, Jay? Are you asking specifically what's going on in the relationship between your mom and dad, or are you asking about what's going on with them in relation to you? Because I kind of was going in a different direction with this, I think.
Okay, or maybe I screwed it up.
Yeah, well, so sometimes, yeah, that's why with questions we might have to ask follow-ups just to make sure we're on the right track.
looking for the question.
Just waiting a minute to see. Okay. Their relationship. Okay, I was on the right track. Thank you for that. So that's basically what I'm seeing here is that there's some potential, like again, the Three of Cups is a very imbalanced sort of card. Now, when I look at the Five of Swords, you see this man kind of gloating over the people that are walking away in defeat, which to me means a power struggle going on of sorts. And this one here is an imbalance emotionally going on here that I feel it right now.
I guess I thought that they really didn't have a relationship, that they were just sort of distant from each other, and that you were the interface, you know, possibly. So I was confused about that maybe. But what I feel with that is that if this is about decisions in their relationship,
No, this is what they face right now, and this is what's going on with them right now.
this is what they face right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe they're looking at the prospects that they themselves will not be happy in the relationship. And I thought that they did live apart, so therefore they are considering how the interface or what their relationship is, or whether they should try to get back together.
Sounds like there's a lot going against that to me right now.
It sounds like too much time has moved on, maybe.
And in the future is basically, you know, basically where things are headed for them. And again, I would just say to you, Jay, this is the Chariot reversed. So imagine a car going in reverse in a way. You know, there's no forward movement right now with this.
There's no will or there's no challenge here. This is about initiative, and so it may be that maybe one of them has the initiative to broach the chasm of the relationship, but it's not wholehearted enough on both sides, or it would be the wrong move in certain respects because nothing would really happen. It would really not serve either of them very well, unfortunately.
I feel as though there's just nothing happening as far as that goes right now.
What do you think is going on with the chat room?
I don't know.
Okay.
So 38 and 20 are the cards that I'm pulling. Everything's in order in the chat room right now. So basically, the park is, or the garden is a card of social activities and whatnot, and the other card is the bridge. It seems to me that maybe they have some friends or some social activities of some sort that can bring them back together, you know, but it's only on that level. I don't see anything beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I felt was like there really is no real relationship there other than maybe just having a child in common.
Yeah, I honestly can't see, you know, this happening. The only thing that could bridge them together is maybe if they could learn to share power appropriately. I really do feel, and you know, power means a lot of things, you know, in a relationship. But I sense that's part of the issues
They
here.
really want different things out of the relationship if there was a thought with that. It is a bridge to something, but it may be not an equal delight, not an equal paradise that they share in terms of that bridge taking their, excuse me, cucumbers earlier for lunch.
And that's what we have for you today, Jay. Thanks for sticking with us. We're going to move on to our next reading, and our next reading is Sharmila. I
Who
hope
has
you
asked
are
the
still
question?
here. Oh, there
Good
you
timing.
are.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sharmila.
How Arnold is feeling about you? Please
No,
check.
Amogh.
It could be, okay, Arnog? Okay, if the
is
spelling's
feeling
correct.
about me. Please check. Okay,
You're going to read with your deck or mine?
let's do the cat deck.
The cat
Do that
deck.
one. This is the Pagan Cat deck by US Games. Very whimsical, nice deck. I kind of like it, and I'm shuffling it the wrong way. Why am I doing that?
I don't know. Benji. Why are you
I
doing that?
don't know. So let's see. The reading I think we'll do is based on one of my. Well, how are they feeling? Should we do the 3-card throwdown again to see that? The 3-card throwdown to.
Sure.
And then maybe if we need a clarifying 4th card, we can do that. But I'll do
Okay.
the Lenormand as well for Sharmila. Let's see, because when we're talking about somebody's feelings, that's pretty darn specific. which I don't mind at all. We should be specific sometimes with our...
Well, we did that with
a group
Alex
shuffle.
earlier, right?
Yes, we did it with a few people today, and I do think it's a way to get down to some nitty-gritty that sometimes a prepared spread can't get to. So either I improvise some of the spreads that I have, or we just do this because we just want to hone right in on that specific issue. So however it works, we're going to try to get that answer for you. And thank you for waiting again. You know, we're still rather new at this, being 3 months at it, but we enjoy this immensely. And we hope to help as many people as we can. All right.
Okay, the first card.
Let's throw 3 out. Okay. And they're all reversed.
Oh, interesting.
Now, interesting indeed. But we want to take a look because we do have that.
10 of coins
Yeah.
reversed. 2 of swords reversed.
Mm-hmm.
And the 10 of wands reversed. That's the 10 of coins in this deck.
The 10 of, yeah, well, let's
The
show
2
them
of
all.
swords. That's a little kitty upside down walking there. And, whoops, sometimes I have a problem angling it in. The 10 of wands reversed. All right, go for it.
Well, this is really interesting to me. I sense that Moog, I'm just going to say it that way because I'm not sure how to, is having problems balancing different things in their lives right now. There's a lot of tension between certain areas in their life right now that might be relating to money and new things. Well, actually, I also think that maybe they might have been in a relationship that took a lot out of them. If this makes sense at all, I'm sensing that a little bit, that took a lot out of them and they're just starting to feel better about things again, or they're trying to extricate themselves from this. What do you think?
When we did this before and we had 2 competing cards, I felt that the card in the middle represented possibly the person, but I don't in this case. I feel these cards are all about Anag, and I feel that these are competing forces within that person, perhaps, with the idea being that they're looking for more support from their family or what they view to be their family. They're looking for support or recognition, their community.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're also dealing with some burdens or some things. Well, they have shifted some of them. Some of them.
Yes.
But I still feel like there are still some left there. And what's happening in the middle is they are empowered to do these things. That accounts for the shift. They're empowered to do these things, but they still don't have the full sense of knowledge. Like maybe they don't really understand you enough to make the decision, that they're just sort of, kind of dealing with new liberties, the release of the burdens, but also the possible estrangement or not connecting with their family or their community.
That's what I get so far. Do you want to draw a final? Let's see if we get some clarification here at all. What is that? The Five of Swords.
Reversed.
Wow. It seems as though, too, that they are...
Does this person occasionally have temper issues, possibly with you? Or are they just sometimes really down on themselves, and by extension, therefore, they may be down on you, like they just sort of have a hopeless
progressing, their attitude is kind of...
well, they have a hopeless feeling from time to time.
So they may take it out on you in some way, and that make you feel smaller to make themselves feel larger. I think that's what I was trying to say, that I'm getting out of this.
So I sort of get that feeling in a way. I don't know if you want to, corroborate that or take that in but that's what I feel there. Are you going to...
I'm going to do the Lenormand. I was shuffling. I got Diane on the list. She's came, and welcome, Diane.
Welcome, Diane.
We're going to do what we can to get everybody in today. Crossing another name off I should have long ago. All right, so quickly I'll grab a Lenormand for you and see if there's any further clarification about this. Well, this is an interesting card. It seems as though you might get some kind of glimmer or a message, a positive message of where things stand with Amug. In the near future, the roses are like a gift. But what I'm looking at here, because it's with the mountain is like obstacles. So in other words, you might get some sign that maybe things are moving in the right direction, but things are not going to happen quickly here if they happen at all. I sense that Amug has a bit to work out, and maybe there is some positive feelings for you that I'm feeling from the flowers of the Lenormand, yet there's many obstacles to traverse here in this potential relationship or friendship.
Ultimately, what I see is that although there's a lot concerning their mind right now, they really do feel like they care about you and they want to let you know that. They want to send you the letter, but they just can't seem to pull themselves together because they're kind of letting a lot of their obstacles or their other situations drag them down a little bit, maybe.
Well, and that's what we have for you today, Sharmila. I hope that made some sense to you. And even if it doesn't, feel free to come back and check in with us again. You know, some days we may be off our game. We've done pretty well today, I think, so far, but
we appreciate
I
all
can
the
never
kind
be
comments from
certain.
people, yeah.
So do keep us posted on things and let us know where things are headed.
Okay, that means that Jay Bain the person who's surrogating for them, I forget who that was.
That was Samantha, I believe.
Samantha, that's correct.
So either Samantha J. Bain,
go
whichever.
ahead and ask us if you are interested in a general reading or if you have a question.
There you are. Relationship first, please, then career.
Okay.
Well, we can kind of we can kind of combine them because we have a lot of people to read for. So let's see what we can do for you here.
Hi, Samantha.
Combining these readings. And welcome to our live stream. Hope you've enjoyed it so far. We have plenty of things planned for the future. We'll be throwing some more videos on YouTube that will be on specific subjects and areas.
We might even take a stab at weather predictions.
Rumor has it.
Mostly for our continent, the North American continent.
We've been predicting things about the Brexit situation in Britain right now that have been getting a lot of looks on
welcome, Samantha.
YouTube. And did you shuffle? And so we decided to try some other things as well. We are still Brexit is not over yet, and we still are going to revisit that. But we also wanted to try our hand at some other things because, there's a lot of things you can prognosticate with the tarot, and we are certainly more than willing to take a risk like that and try our hand at that.
Is Jay Bain starting a new sort of enterprise of their own? In addition to the relationship, because I just dropped the card, the Ace of Wands, and so sometimes that represents the beginning of something.
Yeah, definitely.
In an enterprise. Go ahead and cut, I guess. Okay, so you're the Virgo and A is the Scorpio. Well, I can relate as a Scorpio myself. Though not all the time with Virgos. My sister's a Virgo and some of my friends are.
I have a plan.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's do 4-card spread. It's going to be what the focus is for did he say work first? Relationship first.
And then career.
And what's going on right now in relationship and where things are headed. And the same for career.
So 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, so layout, yes.
Okay, what's going on right now?
With relationship.
Okay. You want me to do the other cards?
Yep. That.
What's going on in career? Okay, go ahead.
Is that the Queen of Pentacles reverse? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. This is interesting, though, to me, Jay, because We have cards here for the first one that are very indicative of career, but I specifically thought and kept in my head relationships at the time because that's what you wanted first. But we can do this. You have here the Ace of Pentacles reversed, and you also have the Two of Pentacles upright. And what I think this indicates to me at present is that there's been a juggling act going on in relationships right now, whether it's you trying to fit one in with other things that are going on in your life, or it seems like there's been off to false starts at
Well,
present.
is it possible that being overly concerned with the financial aspects as they are beginning or working, or the delays that are happening there, is causing the turmoil or the imbalance?
It's highly possible.
It's
You know,
possible.
it's a matter of what we call it is work-life balance. And I think that, it's a hard thing to find, and especially if you're perhaps desperately looking for a job at this time or something. But it does seem
Right.
like relationships are off to a very slow start right now. And the focus should be, I think, for the foreseeable future, maybe for the next 3 months, of achieving a certain balance in your life. And if you are presently in a relationship that is struggling, you really need to try to find that center again, in that place where you meet, the two of you meet.
Okay, and this is about the career.
Yes, and about career, we've got the we have the Empress.
The Empress.
The Empress
But
reversed, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed. I don't know if you've
They're
just
very similar to each other.
I don't know if you've just lost a job or you're trying to recover from something in the workplace, but it seems to me, again, you're going to have to really put out some creative effort and think outside the box to achieve a new career opportunity at this time, if that's what you're looking for.
Is that your synthesis of the two cards?
Okay, it is in a way, and I guess right now I'm sensing that this is kind of a non-productive time for you with the Empress reversed.
Right. This
Things
is
aren't
not
happening.
necessarily the time for you at this point for some reason or the other. It may be that you need to work on more mundane matters like sharpening up the skills and actually working on that level of it. Or it may also mean, too, that for what you're attempting to accomplish, you need a certain level of financial investment to help you, whether it's coming from yourself and your own, resources, or whether you're able to get any kind of backing there, that what you're trying to do needs a little bit more support from others beyond yourself. And we did get some more readings, so
I did comment to Pastel. I hope it got out there.
there's also pink.
Oh.
They were there
pink.
before pastel. If you back up, you'll see that.
Oh, I do see pink. I'm sorry, yes, that's true. I'm going to change the order. Pink was here first, and then pastel. We're going to have to move a little faster, but I'm going to throw a couple Lenormand for you because I just want to see what's going on here. And see if I get a connection one way or another.
Do a couple of you guys know each other in there? Like, I'm starting to feel like, or you're talking about something and I don't know what you're talking about. It's okay. It's your chat room too.
All right, really quickly, Jay, and since you waited so long, I'm going to show you that for the love part, I've got some. It seems as though if you want a relationship to happen, I haven't been following the chat too much on that, but if you want a relationship to happen, a risk is involved here. You're going to have to take a chance on something. In other words, in order to make a connection, you're going to have to go out and try to create that opportunity. And what is the other card I had? Oh,
Whip.
and it'll happen fast if you do so. It seems like it's a move has to be made on your part to make something happen. And if you have someone in mind and you've been afraid of, like, telling how you really feel, I sense that this is saying you have to take a chance.
Well, and love is like that sometimes, or relationships are like that. Sometimes you don't know until you test it out and you roll the die.
I almost feel here that you might be okay where you are at work right now. You have the Sun card and you have the Tree card, which I don't know how long you've been at your present position. But considering what I'm seeing here with the cards as far as work goes, it might be good to stay put for a while because
It
things.
is.
The tree is something that could show that things could get very growthful there, and the Sun is a card of success. So
I'm getting a little bit of glare in the camera too,
Oh.
so I'm going to try to adjust it. And
are
see
we
if
get?
that
Oh, we're
works.
probably getting sunlight from one of our windows. I'm
Yeah,
afraid.
now that the sun is different for us
Yeah.
with the change of daytime. So, but hopefully we'll just work our way through. So there you go. Thank you, Sharmila. Thank you,
And thanks to Jay for waiting, and we hope that has helped.
right, very good. Thank you.
And we're going to move on to it would be Junior Goddess. Are you with us, Junior Goddess? Have you hung in there?
If Junior Goddess is here, it's time for your question.
And we'll give Junior Goddess just a couple seconds to
And I think
answer.
Your cat, Carol. Go right ahead then.
Oh, is she here?
She just said yes.
Boy, my chat was not moving up on me.
Yeah, I could get mine going back too. Oh, there we go. Yep, I got her. Ah.
Oh.
Samantha, you are very welcome. Thank you.
All right, then we shall see.
You're going to do that one? Okay.
Well, no, I've got my Lenormand.
I was manhandling your pagan tarot cats.
If you want to do the pagan tarot cats, that is fine. I think Junior Goddess would approve.
Oh, okay. Well, just make it so then.
So, how will the marriage go? Well, let me see if I have a spread for that.
I know what it
I
is. It's the
may.
sun coming in through that.
Why
window
don't
there.
you shuffle again and cut for me this time? Well, you would think I would have one about a marriage in here. I mean, one that's not about, specifically divorce, but sadly I don't, which is why I love reading for people because I can think of other 3-card spreads I need to create for my list of spreads.
I'm going to eliminate some of that light coming through. That might help with the glaring.
Okay,
So I
so
have to get
he's
to the-
temporarily getting up and hopefully not taking down our equipment. So basically, the first card, I'm going to lay out some cards here and take a look. Wow. We are like getting real synchronistic cards today. So I'm not sure these are all very happy ones, Junior Goddess, but hey, marriage can be like that. It's not all fun and games. And we've been getting this thing with reading for people today where we're getting the same numbered cards. So, for example, in your reading, I just pulled the 6 of Pentacles reversed, and now I have the 6 of Swords reversed, and I have the 5 of Swords reversed as well. We've had the 5 of Swords a couple times now in different
Yeah, we
decks,
have, yeah.
which is very interesting to me.
And I mentioned this in the beginning too because probably for years now I've always noticed certain patterns or synergy, and sometimes I usually see them framing each other over another card. That they're each on one side, they represent opposing sides, but not always. It just is curious though when more than one of a particular number show up.
Well, I sense a couple things here, and the first one, let's tackle and this is just a basic overview of what the marriage is going to be like in the year ahead. It's happening in your married life, and here you have the 6 of Pentacles reversed, and the 6 of Pentacles reversed is telling me that, finances are going to be kind of a problematic issue in the year ahead with marriage. And, you got to remember that it's only one facet of your married life, and it's a big one. But you're going to be working hard with your partner to try to, how should I say this, hold on to resources in the year ahead to save up for that rainy day or repairs. It's going to be a bit of a struggle, I sense, and it might cause some ill will between the two of you.
I actually don't necessarily agree. I don't
Oh.
necessarily think that it means that finances will be hard, but I do think that what it means is there will be a decision to try to save, to try to not be as frugal, as generous in certain respects, because maybe there's a goal towards saving for a particular reason.
The next card, the Six of Swords, is reversed. And to me, it's not necessarily a bad card to me in a marriage. You know, it depends how you look at it. If you're happy with the way things are, then okay. If you're not happy with the way things are, then maybe, yeah, not so much. But it shows that things are going to be staying fairly stable in the marriage and pretty much the same. There's not a lot of movement one way or another. How would you say?
I get the feeling that with this card, what this indicates, in my opinion, is that you will sort of feel that there are times where emotionally you don't want to be as involved, like you're sort of pulling away a little bit, not from the marriage so much, but some of the aspects of that you don't want to be involved in all of those things. But you may also find too, conversely or otherwise, that and maybe that's what the point of the card really is that if you have felt that way, this is really not to your advantage, to try to be aside of some of that emotional stuff that you both need to work on. You probably need to be more engaged with it.
And the third card is the Five of Swords reversed again. And we've been getting this a bit today as well. And it seems like, it's been upright or reversed. And how do you feel about it reversed? I have my feelings about this.
I tend to like it less than the other way, but I don't like it either way, to be honest.
I keep thinking it's a power struggle of some sort. Like there's, everybody has their own agenda, and one wants theirs to be tops over the other, and there's got to be a way to find that balance in a marriage because everybody has goals and desires of things they want to get done and accomplished, and it's finding that middle ground of what's most important to you rather than having this power struggle all the time.
Well, and I sort of feel like that it's a denouement of a sense that it really sort of indicates nobody has won, and that there may be some sense of everybody loses a little bit or everybody feels pain. It's like one of my favorite insurance commercials. No one was hurt, but there will still be pain.
And let me pull a couple of Lenormand for you and see what the focus of the year might be. Look at it that way.
We'll see, Jay. We have to get through the other readings first.
I put you down again, Jay, but we've got a lot of people here, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, Ellis, thank you for dropping in. We always love it when you're here. You make everything comfortable.
You were next, Ellis. Are you sure you want to leave at the moment, or are you passing your...
I hope that was interesting too, Junior Goddess.
Oh, I got some Lenormand for her. And one from the bottom. How interesting, Ella, Junior Goddess. It seems like decisions and things, it looks like your success or your work environment is going to affect your home in some way, and there's some decisions that could have implications for your marriage. So I think you have to think about that too. That's interesting to me that came up. It has something to do with work.
The moon is what is finding out?
The moon is work.
Oh, okay. So this is about finding out?
That's choices or decisions. It's like a pathway.
So it may actually be that this is, not the major concern in your relationship. It may be that getting to the bottom of certain things at work or getting, settled in better there will be more important. That once that's, settled and, on an even course. How do you read the moon again, normally?
The moon is job or workplace success.
That's really going to be more of your focus over the next year. I I don't know how many are after you.
I was just trying to respond, but for some reason I couldn't get my keyboard to appear
But
on
you
my
are
tablet.
next if you want it
You
now.
are next, and there are 6 people after you.
Whoa, Nelly. We can do this.
If they're all still here. Well, actually, Samantha was one of them, so there's 5.
Okay.
Well, thanks for sticking with us, Junior Goddess. You're very
Thank
welcome.
you. So, did you want us go ahead and ask a question, or are you looking? Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm.
We're rationing our chocolate intake and splitting each small candy bar. Okay. So I'll ask once again, if you want to go, you could give us a question right now and we'll go for it. We still have about a half hour left.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Smiling Soul, what's up with you? Would you like a reading today?
Take care, Alice, and we'll see you again.
Yes, thanks for stopping in again and being patient, and we'll just enjoying the reading in the chat.
Smiling Soul, are you there?
And if Smiling Soul is not there, we'll move on, but we'll give her a minute or two. And then I believe Diane is after Smiling Soul. Then comes Pink, Pastel, and if Jay wants another question and we have time, we can do it. One more moment, Smiling Soul.
Love and light.
And if not, we'll move on and try to put you at the end.
And we're in our last half hour, and we thank everybody for being here. We've just had a great, exciting time. If you tuned in later, the first thing we did was we demonstrated a little bit of what we're hoping to work on more in the future, maybe as a special segment, and that's Tarot Together, Visioning Takes a Village, and that's where we employ our audience, or some of our audience, to help us give a tarot reading for either ourselves or perhaps in the future, you guys. So we're thinking that maybe Smiling Soul is not around
at present. So
we may have to add them later if they show up again.
We're going to move on to Pink. If you're still with us, it's your turn for a reading.
It wasn't Diane?
Oh, it was Diane. Sorry, Diane.
Yeah, we think that's really interesting too. And we're going to just keep working on how we do that. We have a couple of other ideas.
Pink, I'm sorry. Diane's before you. Apologize, but Diane is next, and Pink, you're after
All right,
her.
Diane, go ahead and give us your question, or if you're interested in a general, you can let us know. And thank you again for being here, and thank you for your patience.
Everybody, thank you for your patience.
Everybody, thank you for all the wonderful comments.
Feelings of Khalid. Okay, Khalid. All right.
All righty.
You want to do that as the 3 card?
Sure. We've been having pretty good fortune
I think it's
with that,
working
I think.
well. Right, and I'm going to shuffle these a little right now. Thank everybody for joining us on this. I guess this is starting our 4th month of doing live stream tarot, which we have never done before. Hooray! Just adds,
How about if you cut this time?
its own set of challenges reading virtually like this. I find it incredibly fascinating, and that's why our Tarot Together experiment is really interesting to me as well.
Yes.
As it combines everybody's energy and it engages our audience, and so we're looking forward to trying that again in the future.
All right, just throw them out.
Yes.
How interesting.
This
So the
is
first
very
card
interesting.
is the 2 of Coins reversed. Okay. Then we have the Queen of Wands upright. We've had her in our readings before today, at least once. Different deck though. We've had this card from this deck with somebody else's reading, which is the Lovers, but reversed. So let's get to it.
Yes, let's get to it. So we have the 2 of Coins. I sense that there's some imbalances right now with Khalid's attitudes towards you. But one thing I think I can say for certain is I think that
They're
thinks
attracted to
they're
you.
very attract. Yes, thanks for
You
he took the
present
words
as
out of
very
my mouth.
attracted to them.
This is somebody who is very attractive to them in some way. They find you to be a very powerful, strong personality that they are attracted to. And the Two of Coins reversed, though, indicates to me that there's just some things that are unbalanced with Khalid right now and maybe his thinking process. And the Lovers is reversed there. Yes, I'm
They're
looking
kind of
at
framing that in a way
They
because
are.
they're very similar at this point.
because you are at the center of these two cards. And I think that the love.
Well,
Go
I'm
ahead. I'll
just
let you
getting
go.
a psychic flash here that maybe on some level Khalid does not think they are worthy or does not think they are able to make this decision or to think about this as a decision. It could just mean that maybe they want you to take the lead. That's possibly what I'm sensing here, is that they don't want to necessarily be the person who is the initiator. Possibly.
Right. Or on the
Okay.
other hand, too, I sense that I think that this person may not want to. Maybe they think they're. Well, did you say that they're not worthy in some way?
That
Because
maybe
that's
they're thinking
kind
that,
of
or
the
that
way
maybe
I'm
they're not
feeling
thinking
too.
they can really do this, that they have to be brought into it rather than being the initiator.
I sense that, yeah, exactly. And maybe you seem like such a strong personality to them that they don't know how to approach you on this, perhaps.
So it could be that they actually are intimidated by what they see as your beauty, your wisdom, your sense of magnetism to them.
It could be
You
your very
draw them.
enterprising woman as well. The Queen of Wands is a very, very confident individual.
So that could intimidate some
Yeah.
people.
Let me toss a couple of Lenormand for you also and see what's going on here. See if it gives maybe some idea of where to go from here with this.
I hate to say it, but sometimes I like it better when our sunny cat
Oh,
is
no.
not on the table.
We love him to death.
Okay, there's been a secondary related question.
Oh. Any communication coming on? Not at present. I don't know if this person has moved, perhaps. It looks like an ending at a home. Now, don't get alarmed by the cross card there. It does mean something very negative, like a death or crossing. But in my mind, because it's with the house, it could also indicate to me if he has not dealt with a family member's death at present time or some ending, like maybe a relationship ending, he might be moving or in the process of moving
I'm getting a
in
feeling
some
that
way.
somebody's moving and that maybe it's him, or that there is a consideration towards that coming up.
And
I am feeling that a little bit.
So I hope to say that
They're busy a little
Oh.
bit. So I'm wondering.
So I am not sure here if communication forthcoming. I'm going to say by the cards I see right now, I'm not so sure it is.
I'm gonna just grab one here, but I'm sort
Okay.
of feeling that too. That kind of what we said earlier. That you're probably gonna have to be more of the initiator here. Oh, and I don't know how to interpret that. If that's
Well, that
them.
is my card, the Hermit. And the Hermit card is telling me that maybe right now he's more into his own self and self thoughts. Maybe you're going to need to draw him out of that a little bit, is my thinking.
I think that's what I feel, is that probably this person needs more encouragement of some sort.
That's what we have for you today, Diane. I'm so thankful you waited, and I appreciate that immensely, and hope you come back again. I believe, feel
It's
free to
pink now?
subscribe to our channel and stop in anytime. Okay, so we're moving on to
It's pink, right? Or no, it's pastel.
Wait, did we do pastel?
No, wait. We didn't do pastel yet, or did we? No, we didn't.
We did not do pastel.
I don't think we did.
Pastel, you are next.
Thank you. We think we're pretty cool. No, I thought it was pink. It's one of you two.
Did we give you a reading, Pastel? Because honestly,
No, I don't remember doing
I don't
that.
think we did. Pastel is next and then pink.
No, pink actually
No,
came
pink
in
is
first.
before pastel.
Pink came in our room first. So
Well, it's late in the day and we're losing it, but
yeah,
clearly
pink. It is you. I had to do that.
you are next. I
Thank
am
you,
so
moderator
sorry.
person, for setting us straight as well. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Yes.
Pink always goes first, especially when you play with Barbie dolls like me.
Oh no.
And I am doing a special Barbie doll for a project coming up, so I may share that in the near future.
Okay, Pink. You want a general reading, or do you want something specific?
Question. Just go ahead and share.
When will you get married? Oh my goodness.
Ah.
Well, that's a time frame one. Let's see what I can we can discern from the cards that we draw. Sometimes we can determine a time frame.
Well, we try to keep that in our mind as we're doing that.
And
then
other
see if
times
that
we
number
just
speaks to
make
us, or that
and other times we just may get indicators as to how long it may be, but not a specific time. Proceed.
no, thank you. I
Sorry.
got the Banshee glare.
It was no glare. Here we go.
I felt glared at.
Well, we are cute, and we are a little bit busier than we normally are, so we're getting kind of confused signals
Did I already shuffle?
between ourselves. I want you to shuffle again,
Okay.
and I want you to cut them. I thought I started, but
I don't remember. Maybe with the previous one.
I'm
I
so
did.
focusing right now on the question, so I'm trying to do that. And I'm going to shuffle my Lenormand now as well.
And I'm
sometimes-
focusing too, so there.
Difficult to predict this type of question, but we're going to see what we come up with for you.
Oh, bother. We are good at doing these kind of questions.
Oh, bother. Okay. Well, I'm going to lay them out again.
No problem, Smiling Soul. We'll see if we can get to you.
Okay. Interesting.
Four of Swords.
There are so many mixed signals I have in these three cards. I hate to tell you this, Pink. The Chariot. Well, let me tell you what we have first. We have the Four of Swords, and this is Ciro Marchetti's Grand Lux Tarot, put out by U.S. Games. It's a beautiful deck. We have the Chariot upright, and then reversed, we have the Death card. So, do you want to start?
Well, I think that it's not going to be the kind of question that could be answered in a time span that might be more appreciable to you. I can assume, of course, that you are interested and you want to be, and that maybe there is actually something going on. But I'm feeling this is going to take time, that I feel that there's somehow a retreat or a repose for somebody here. It may actually need to be yourself, is what I'm feeling. Like maybe you need to do a timeout of some sort, or that you need to be on hiatus or out of that thing. Yet at the same time, I also feel too that there is ambition within you towards this goal or other goals. So I'm wondering if it could just be that you have to really resolve what is truly the most important and move that way. Because the ambition is strong, but the idea of being in repose or being somehow on hiatus is also strong. Finally, coming up to this card, I would have to say that this card sort of indicates that what the prospects seem to be, or where you see them going, isn't exactly thrilling, and that maybe you actually need to start over fresh somehow, or you need to be involved with different situations to meet other people that maybe would be a better fit or would somehow resonate better.
So I see in the first card, the Four of Swords, that maybe, you've had some relationships, maybe you took a little break from relationships for a bit. Maybe you didn't have yourself out there. The Chariot seems to show a motivation now or maybe you're taking a break from too much fun and you want to settle down. I do sense that with this Four of Swords card as well. And the Chariot card is indicating that there is movement here. However, you're facing the Death card reversed, and that's showing kind of being stuck right now in place, that nothing is moving for you. So in other words, I think, you're going to have to really decide in your mind that you are ready for this step, and then you're going to have to, put yourself in situations where you can meet people that are marriage worthy of you. That may not be at the bar, for example. You got to put yourself in situations where you will meet the kind of person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. So that's why I think this is not an easy thing for us to answer right now, but I'm going to draw a couple of Lenormand quick so we can move to our next people as we're getting in our last 15 minutes, and we're going to do everything we can to get people in.
So it doesn't look like this is answerable in any kind of immediate sense. It may be clearly months, if not longer.
And again, this is very illusory right now. The Mask card, which is an extra card in the Lenormand that Ciro Marchetti put in his deck, is indicating that there's a lot of things hidden still. And there are obstacles, the mountain cards. There's still things that that you have to go through or put in place before you are ready for this step. And there's obstacles that you have to traverse to either finding Mr. Right or Ms. Right and, making it work.
I agree with that, the mountain is more like the obstacles, like the path. And part of that path maybe is about removing the masks.
Is hidden, finding, there's hidden.
But this, to me, is that they could be on either side. They might be the masks you erect to hide yourself or to keep yourself safe, but they might also be the masks that you have to penetrate in others.
Well, and I also wonder if the cards are not telling me that it just can't get a timing yet. So I would suggest to you, if you come back and visit us, don't ask this particular question again, but maybe ask some questions related to it. And then maybe about 3 months down the road, approach this question again and let's see what comes up. But I wouldn't ask this one right away yet because it does not seem it's the right time to give you a more definite answer. I hope that helps somewhat with your question, and
Okay,
I
there
thank
was
you
some
again
sort
for
of
waiting.
clarification there. I don't know if you want to address that at all.
Wanted to know if she is going to be okay with a marriage. Well, I sense
Or
her.
is she the one who's in repose? Is she the one who's taking the rest or the time out, and that's where the concern lies?
I think that she is. I think that this is. If you're concerned about her being in the way of this union, I think that concern is valid from what I've seen in the cards
Pink,
right
you're
now.
indicating that person is the person who is in repose or hiatus or possibly being taken care of.
Okay.
I think that's what you're saying, right?
Well, one way or another, I do feel the person, for whatever reasons, is one of the obstacles right now.
Yeah, and it may be that it's going to take a while. That's what we're seeing.
Well, and sometimes, if I think they may come around, but I don't see it right now. That's all I can say.
Okay, how do you want to handle our situation?
We have a situation. Smiling is not next. No, we had to put Smiling back on the list, Pastel. So if you would like to go ahead.
Pastel?
If you would like to go ahead, Smiling, we're going to try to get you in. And if we run into a little overtime, what we're going to do is just take the people that are on here right now, which means Pastel, JW, and Smiling Soul.
We also have Renosa.
Renosa popped in? When was that before Smiling Soul?
Concurrently.
Okay. So we'll get Renosa in as well, but we stop there and we will move on with right now Pastel. Do you have a general question or would you like a specific reading?
We'll try not to, Jay.
We've got you, Jay. So anybody else who comes in, they'll have to tune in next time. And that's it. We want to get everybody in today because...
I want to know what the soulmate looks like so I can recognize them.
Oh. Well, we'll see how close we can get. What would you like to do?
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm going to use this deck again, the Ciro Marchetti deck. I have an idea. Okay. We're going to draw 3 cards first to see if at least we can identify some physical attributes, characteristics, maybe career, different things about them, their personality, and then I'm going to try to do something to see if we can pull the type of person it
I
might
have an
be.
idea. It's sort of a variation on the three aces, only we're looking for 3 court cards.
Well, that's a very good one, but too late now. But we are going to look for a court card, so we were on the same page, teammate. But not yet. We're going to draw 3
Okay.
cards first. We'll see if we get a court card here. Some beautiful cards you have here, Pastel. You have the Star, and this is also the 4 of Wands, and the 10 of Coins. So initially, a few things that I could tell you about this
All upright.
Yes, this
It's
perspective.
the 6, actually.
Oh, it's the 6, not the 4. That's even better.
That's even better.
So let me speak about this person. This person could be somebody who is very accomplished in their lives. It sounds like somebody who is will accomplish much, and also somebody who may have some family money or resources at their disposal. Somebody who's very optimistic. You know, if I looked at this, could be somebody who is a star in some way in their field of endeavors. Somebody who is well recognized and thought of. I'm not going to say you're going to marry an actor or a musician per se at this point, but I'm just saying somebody of star quality. How would
It
you
looks like
feel?
your soulmate is a real winner. They're just a winner. So hopefully you can recognize them. They do seem to be exactly what Banshee's indicating. Somebody who is accomplished, somebody who takes chances and succeeds. So somebody who may be some sort of captain of industry, or somebody who runs their own business or company. But they're also really optimistic, and they're also somebody that inspires people too. And then at the same time too, the business that they have created seems to be really solid. It's solid.
Okay. I did draw a court card, and the court card is the King of Swords, reversed. And what I will say about this person, whether it's male or female, is that they are very, excuse me, they could be an air sign. They could be an air sign in the zodiac, and also they have a lot of they may be involved in the analytical sphere. They may be involved in things where they have to pass judgment on people. So I sense maybe there could be something with the legal profession, law enforcement, things of a judge, things of that nature, a lawyer. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm mostly picking up that kind of vibe too, that there's something sort of legalish. So even if they're not incredibly accomplished, they might be a legal clerk of some sort, or they work somehow in a lawyer's office perhaps. Which could still be these kind of other qualities here that they might have with them.
Mm-hmm. So let me just toss a couple of Lenormand for you really quick, and we're moving on.
Where would they find such a guy? Indeed. There may be more than one person around here who's asking that question.
Well, you know what? Keep eyes wide open. Most definitely. And let me see what I've pulled for you here.
If they're a soulmate, they come into your life because they're meant to. So that's the other thing. And you did sort of ask it that way. So you don't really have to look for them. You just sort of have to be available for them.
I'm not going to say on the internet. I'm not. But you have the letter card here. And you have the other card is the pathway card, the paths. And for me, that kind of indicates that through some news from someone, maybe some invitation to some event, is how you will encounter this person. It could be maybe at a wedding, some kind of social gathering that you are invited to where you invariably meet Mr. Right.
If the person is supposed to be your soulmate, and I'm never for sure that all of us get a chance to meet our soulmate. It is possible for some. But if you are vibrating that way, I think Banshee is exactly right, that it will be a chance encounter through some sort of invitation, that maybe you will be invited to attend an event, and maybe there's a person there who you will click with.
Yeah. So I hope that helps, and we're going to move on to our next, which is, Okay,
It's
Jay,
jaded.
you did have a reading before, and we would like to read for you, but could we read for either Smiling Soul? Did you want a reading, or did you want us to move on to Renosa? And we will get you in, Jay, and
Okay, so let's go for somebody who we got 6 minutes.
well, I'm at
We're
Renosa.
gonna go overtime a little bit.
All right, Smiling Soul.
The only thing I could say from a physical point of view is that maybe dark, not a blonde. I don't pick that up as a blonde or light-haired person necessarily. I don't get strong facial correlation.
Oh.
They're probably a man. They're probably a full-grown man.
Okay, I've got the two of you asking questions, so I know what your questions are. So you have the same one as Pastel. You want to know who your Mr. Right or Ms. Right or whatever might be. So let's do it. We're going to do that first. And Renosa, I see your question, and I will do yours right after. Smiling Soul is with us in the beginning, but she got interrupted. So I'm putting her before you, Renosa, but you are on our radar next, and then Jay. And we'll have to call it quits for today.
I take the idea of kings as being mature men who probably are already well invested in the business world. So they're not necessarily somebody
That's
in their
true.
20s who might still be in college or barely out of college. They're somebody who's probably been working a while. So it could be, early to mid 30s and beyond.
Well, I'm a little bit more open-minded and
You're welcome.
flexible about that than Mr. O, because I tend to feel that sometimes, let's look at what's happened today with some things. Steve Jobs and computers, Bill Gates and Microsoft. Some people really develop very quickly in life and are more mature than others. So I would say if it is a younger person, it is that kind of individual.
Cappy lady, we have all the questions we can handle in our time remaining us. So we cannot take your question. We're sorry about that, but we do hope that you will come again.
We apologize, but we're going to go a little overtime as it is, and we'd love to read for you in the future.
Okay, so this is Smiling Souls.
Yes,
Mr.
let's
Right.
take a look. Well, you have some interesting cards here, Smiling Soul, and sadly you do have some reversals, but we'll deal with that. You have the Three of Wands reversed.
Thank you, Kathy lady.
You have the Page of Cups reversed, and you also have the that's the Five of Coins upright. I think for the foreseeable future, Mr. Right, what I would say, Mr. Right now does not look like somebody who is going to have a lot going for him money-wise. I would say it does look like he's at a disadvantage financially. And also, he might have been going through he might be on the rebound from something emotionally. I think there's been some emotional upsets in life, but oftentimes what brings us down makes us stronger. And so I don't want you to necessarily take that as a negative here. And finally, the Three of Wands is that he may have had some disruptions in the workplace and maybe just some bad luck, like being laid off and trying to get on his feet again.
Yeah, I get much of what you're getting here, and I do feel like this person, if this soulmate is already existing out there or is vibrating, they're not really ready for it. They're just not. That maybe also too that I feel that they're younger than you. That's not necessarily a problem necessarily, but
I drew a king.
Oh, well, you drew a king. Okay, I've been countermanded by the Banshee.
It happens. But the king, like I said, it could be a mature young person.
Bye, Pastel.
By Pastel. The thing is that, but he's reversed. So this is somebody who's like maybe moves a little bit too fast for his own good, a little bit of aggression with his actions. So, you might want to really explore this person really well. I would say that, on the other hand, he may be somebody who knows how to get things done quickly, and to cut through the chafe to get to what you need to.
Well, maybe the one that Bones got has a brother or a cousin that might be a little rich too, and maybe you could, work out a meeting. I don't know. But hopefully
know,
there's plenty of these kind
this
of
is
persons out there in the world.
This is supposed to be about Mr. Right, after all, and it makes me think about ways of tweaking this reading in the future, Smiling Soul. So I would suggest to you, because it is a little bit like I'm looking at this guy and wondering, is he really somebody's Mr. Right? He might be. A lot of people who go through hard times are great people, so it just depends what you yourself are looking for and expecting out of, the human being you want to spend your life with. So
We
I
should
don't know
try to
that.
shoot for Renosa.
Pardon me, I have to do 2 cards. What is that?
Renosa.
Renosa's next. I haven't forgotten about Renosa.
I know we're at our time limit.
We're supposed to go overtime
Okay,
for
we are going
Renosa
over
and
time
Jay.
limit. I just want to keep us.
I am there.
So, do we have a question?
Yeah.
What was
No,
the
it
question?
was. I never drew these for Smiling, did I?
Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry.
I know. That's why I was wondering what he was saying here.
I'm rushing her.
Smiling Soul. It does look as though there is somebody coming. And it is.
Hubba hubba.
And there is the star. And considering the other cards you got where this person is down on their luck, they may have been involved in something very lucrative or famous of some sort, but they're down on their luck right now. They're having a hard time, as evidenced by the other cards. So maybe this is somebody who might indeed be worth giving a look at in the future.
There's no real indication when that might happen, though.
No.
It could be within this year, but it doesn't necessarily look likely. I don't think I really see that.
I don't see any kind of thing about movement here of timing in these cards. They were all over the place. So I'm just going to say I don't believe it's imminent. And we're going to move on with that to, thank you, Smiling Soul, for waiting. We're going to move on to Renosa's question, and Renosa's question was, we had it here. Do you have it, Mr. O?
Oh, look.
Oh, there it is. What people think of me, what
do people think of me right now?
What do people think of me right now? Okay. Well, that's another one of these throwdown quest cards. You can use yours by all means. I've been hogging the show here with my decks of cards, but Mr. O has a real oldie but goodie with him today. Nice colorized version of the Rider-Waite from about the 60s, we think. Maybe early 70s.
About 1972, which is about when I first started reading the tarot.
So,
we crack you up.
I dropped that card on the bottom. That is the 6 of Swords reversed right now. Means things have been a little slow for you right now. Not a lot of movement or activity, possibly. Things at a stalemate. Maybe you're looking for some movement. Let's see what these cards indicate.
You keep rubbing it in, Khalil, that I'm old. No, you don't. I do that myself.
We're very
well,
good at
actually.
doing that ourselves, yes. We have been around, I'd just like to say.
I recently met somebody who also does divination. I think they roll the stones or something like that. And they were born exactly on my birthday, but on my 18th birthday. So they're about 18 years younger than me. So, but they're already in their 40s now, so that's kind of interesting. Okay, so what reading am I doing?
You are doing, we're laying them down again, the 3.
Okay, you're welcome, Smiling Soul. We really, really appreciate you being with us. You always add something to our show.
Okay, so this is about what people are thinking right now.
Of Renosa, okay.
Maybe they're talking about you a little bit, Renosa.
There's a gossip thing going on, but
I sense that.
There might also be the idea, too, that maybe you have been able to find out and possibly turn the tables on that gossip.
Yeah, you're aware of some chatter going on, I think, which is maybe why you're asking this question. And what is that card? The Strength card.
The Strength card.
Well, go ahead.
You apply yourself very fairly and compassionately to most things, whether it's work or school or play or relationships or family. You always feel that trying to understand people and situations will serve you better than just trying to order people about.
Yes. And finally, oh, I agree. And I also think that actually there may be people out there that are actually defending you right now. If there is some talk, some negative talk happening, there are people that are standing by you in this.
Right, I guess that would be a good extrapolation there. And then we have the Nine of Wands reversed.
Which I feel like that maybe you've been taken off guard a little bit by all of this. I don't know if I'm hitting on this here, but it seems like you were unprepared for some of what may be going on behind the scenes.
There's been some hurt that maybe because of the revelation of actions behind your back, whether they were actually gossip or just maybe deceptive things happening behind your back, people saying they would do something and then they didn't do it, or they did something different and that was an impact. Those things hurt. That's what this card tells me, and that therefore you may be wondering how you can find trust again, because maybe you have to. These sorts of people, this may be an environment where you depend on them to have some amount of goodwill or good feeling between you and them.
Well, and I have drawn the ship, and I have drawn the ring. And the ring, often involves relationships of love, but they can also involve friendships and people around you. And what I'm sensing here is some of this may cause some changes, abrupt changes in a relationship or in friendships. I sense that there's changes afoot. They may not be bad changes, though. We're always afraid of changes and what they could bring, but actually sometimes changes are necessary. We need them.
And was that the ship too?
Yes, that's the ship.
Well, I feel like the ship is journeying, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the ring is about creating bonds or...
Journeying and changes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that too pretty much. I can't say much more than that.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what we have for you. And I want to thank you so much for waiting, like everybody else, for these readings. We hope it helps in some way, shed some light on some situations, and always check back in with us for more. We are up to
the final one, right?
Our final one with Jay Walker.
You're welcome, Renosa. Thank you. Thank you for coming back again.
Jay Walker, you have one more thing for us today, and we'll be glad to do that for you. And then we have to call it a day.
And Oberon dropped all the cards again. Whoops.
Oh.
Are you moving in 2020?
Well, that's a yes/no question right there. You want to use that deck?
Yeah, let's
all right.
do that. Okay, so this will be our final reading. We'll add a Lenormand to see if it gives us any other information. Is Jay Walker moving in the next year?
Thanks, everybody, for showing up today. This has been loads of fun. I can't tell you.
We have a lot of fun doing this. We really do. So thank you.
And we get out a lot out of reading for everybody. So let's see what we get here.
Who's counting, smiling soul?
Wow. Let's see.
First
wow.
thing, tarot is a snapshot in time.
Yes.
So just because we're answering this question any particular way now does not mean that circumstances could change, or that if you asked again later it might be a different answer.
And so what I'm saying right now, if you're planning on moving, there's a couple things in play here, but it's leaning towards no right now. You have the Ace of Cups upright. You have the Six of Swords reversed. And you have the Four of Wands upright. Well, it seems to me that, if you had to move, maybe that's a possibility, but it seems like you're quite comfortable where you're at right now on some level. The Four of Wands shows kind of a stability and structure and kind of a comfortability and joy that you get out of where you're at right now. I hope that's true. But the Six of Swords, it's what's stumbling me here because it's reversed, and that seems to indicate to me that no, there's no movement at this time. You're kind of staying where you're at.
Well, I feel like maybe there may be some idea that you want to move. There may be some idea you want to move, but it may be that you think you're going to remove yourself from some situation or avoid or get away from a situation, and that may not necessarily be true.
Good
So
point.
this may be something that you will resolve and decide you don't really have what it takes right now to do the move, or that it's not going to be a great advantage to move. And that could be the ultimate thing, is that even if you do move, it may not be that there's a great advantage to that move. But I do sort of feel that the move is not going to happen, and that to some degree your status quo remains, which is some level of comfort or being comfortable in those surroundings of that environment. Ah, okay.
I see. Well, this is interesting.
Well,
I've got the. Go ahead.
we know a certain somebody that couldn't wait to move when they were around 18, and then they moved next door to their parents so they could still come by and do their laundry and other things.
Dear me, I'm not going to even go there.
So you got the ring. Oh, this is the same, isn't it? Or nearly the same. Both of these have come up several
This
times.
is so ironic because I pick it from the top and bottom, and I have shuffled those cards several times while we were doing your reading, before and after. So the ring and the path. And basically, I don't know if you feel bonded to somebody or some situation. And this is why, you've got choices or decisions to make as far as a move goes. What do you think?
There is a choice coming, but what I'm feeling is that maybe what happens is you will have an opportunity through a friend, somebody that would just be a roommate. I mean, they might be a friend just as a roommate, is what I'm feeling. Like maybe that will be a choice offered to you. I'm feeling like it's probably an okay choice, so you'll just have to check it out. But I don't feel strongly about that. Like maybe it's just going to take the better part of the next year to finally come to you, this choice or opportunity.
Yeah.
I was giggling a moment ago because of what
Coolio.
Coolio
I
said.
thought we're going to remain mum about that for now. But Mr. O always speaks too freely sometimes. I have to kind of zip the lips. But
Scorpionically.
that's
even.
what this banshee is here for. I want to thank everybody for being with us today. We hope to see you again next time. We'll try to throw a little bit of content in the beginning of our broadcasts. Instead of Team Tarot next time, maybe we'll bring back my question deck.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, take care, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.